Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. Rhythm FM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school, to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. Rhythm FM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school, to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music, we scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. Rhythm FM, growing with you everywhere. From your very first day in secondary school, to campus dreams that kept you awake at night, to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky, there has always been one frequency riding with you.
93.7. Real stories worth sharing. Dear Louie, say it here.
Good evening and welcome to Dear Louie, the space where we have honest conversations about life, love, healing, and everything in between. When you hear the word abuse, many of us immediately think bruises, broken bones, and physical violence. But some of the deepest wounds don't leave marks on our body. They leave scars on your confidence, your identity, your self-worth, and even your ability to trust yourself again. Emotional emotional abuse is often quiet. It can hide behind, I love you, I am only trying to help you, or you are overreacting. It can make someone question their reality, feel isolated and believe that they are the problem. This evening's conversation isn't just about judging people who stay or celebrating people who leave. It's about understanding the complexity of abuse, recognizing the signs that we often overlook, and reminding anyone listening that love should never come at the expense of your peace, your identity, or your safety. Joining me is Mrs. Olalaide Omosebi, who has chosen to share her story and through her experience help others recognize what emotional abuse looks like, feels like, and what it takes, the courage to finally walk away. Thank you so much for joining me. Good evening.
Good evening, Louie. You're welcome. It's so
lovely.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, finally. Oh my God. I'm so excited that you are here finally. Before we talk about the relationship itself, tell me who you were before all of this, the woman that you wanted to be, the type of dreams you had and who you aspired to be.
That's a tough one. It's a tall one, actually. So, my name is Olaide Omosebi. So I needed to put that out there, Olaide. Olaide had always been a very vibrant young lady. I had so many dreams. In fact, my late father used to tell me that he believed that I was going to be one of his most successful children because I had lots of dreams. And I was hyperactive. So I remember when I was much younger, I'd always thought I would have a huge supermarket like the then UTCs, I don't know, for those that knew what UTC was like. So I had intention of having a mighty mall like the UTC, having a secondary school, having huge companies like the Dangote, and even with all of that, being a doctor, medical doctor. So you can imagine.
A lot of dreams.
So, and they were not just fleeting dreams. They were things that I thought I would actually achieve. So, but life happened.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the relationship itself. How did you find yourself in that relationship? What was it like, the beginning? Were there signs? Did you ignore the signs, or you were just in love and you wanted to be?
Oh, I ignored the signs. But it was also a combination of being in love or thinking I was in love. I was very young. And sometimes, the upbringing matters. So growing up, I've always thought that, okay, once you find love, there's no point looking elsewhere. You stay there. Okay, so I was in the Polytechnic, higher institution, when I met my ex, or shall I say my late husband. And, after talking for a while, I felt I was in love. And so I told myself, hey, when you're in love, there's no point playing around. Because that was the way I was seeing some of my friends that I had in school back then. They were the life of the party, enjoying themselves, different guys coming to toast them, coming into our hostel. So I felt, this holier than thou attitude that, I found love, so let me just stay. But I saw the signs. Sometimes I'll leave school. Maybe I was schooling in Ibadan. So sometimes I come to Lagos. Maybe I wanted to go home. Then I'll stop by at his place. And there was no GSM as at that time. So there was no way I could call him to tell him I was coming. So I'll just come, and at times I'll see him in public beating up someone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's fighting, and everybody's telling him, stop. Or I could come home and see signs of another woman that has been in the house or something. But I ignored the signs, and especially the beating. So I remember this particular incident. I came back from school. I was there with him, and then he went out, and then he started beating someone. And someone had to come home to call me, that, Mama, your guy is beating up somebody. And I got there and I said, mine, stop. And he stopped.
Oh, wow.
So I felt, okay, I'm the person that's going to fix this guy. So I went into the marriage with that confidence that, oh, whenever I say stop,
he's going
to stop. So, and with time, he's going to change. So the signs were there. I didn't know that he was pretending. He just wanted me to come inside. And like someone told me that it's like a tiger putting his foot on his back and riding with it. That when he's hungry, he's going to pick it up and eat it. So when I entered, it became my turn to be beaten blue-black.
Wow. Okay, so you experienced domestic abuse as well as emotional abuse.
Yes.
All right, let's talk about the emotional abuse. Not a lot of people understand what emotional abuse is or what it feels like. And it messes with you, your mental health, your confidence, you second guess yourself, you don't even know who you are anymore. You know, so what is it like? What are the signs?
You know, like I tell people, emotional abuse is actually worse than the physical abuse. There are several types of abuses. There's the physical, there's the emotional, there's the psychological, there is the sexual abuse.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay.
You can be in a marriage and your husband is starving you of sex and your wife is saying no. It's abuse.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of people don't know. What people see is the physical one. You see, and I think for someone like me, I didn't quickly recognize emotional abuse because I used to tell myself back then that I don't like people talking down at me. So I prefer, even when I was much younger, I prefer my parents flogging me than talking, to me. So when my physical abuse started, the emotional at first wasn't so pronounced because I was focusing on that. But you see, emotional abuse is very subtle. That's why a lot of people don't recognize it easily. Your partner could come up and say, why are you this fat? Look at your arms, they're so big. Can't you do something about it? If you trim down, you look better. Or I could have bought you this dress but because you're big, I can't buy it,
Okay, so subtle things like
Subtle.
that. Okay.
Subtle. You won't know. So you think the person actually loves you. And then you start, the rat race. You start running on how to slim down. Oh, my tummy has to look this. Oh, I have to do this. I know someone has told me before that, this is funny that if I think what I bring to the table is this, as in the person looked at me and said, look, if your body is what you think you bring to the table, then you are worthless. That is emotional abuse. And so people try to tell you things like that. You will feel you just need to put in extra work. Let me do better. Oh, the person actually wants me to be a better person. But it's actually their own imperfections or their own lack of their own lack of esteem that they try to put out to you. So emotional abuse is worse. It's really, really, but it's very subtle. So if you are not vigilant, you're not going to recognize it. It's usually wrapped in love or so-called love. It's usually wrapped around with care, with kindness, with this supposed love. But abuse is abuse.
Is it possible for people to abuse you emotionally now and not know that that's what they're doing? Or you feel like it's actually intended? They intended to hurt you?
It is intended. It is intended. I can tell you that 99% of the time it is intended. It is intended. See, it's like two people are fighting or you're arguing. And then you go look for some hurtful words and you holler at that person, not because those things are actually true about that person, but because you want to intentionally hurt. It's like the common insult that men throw at women, ashawo. It doesn't mean that the particular woman is sleeping around, but it is intended to belittle you, to hurt you. That is what emotional abuse is all about. It's intended. They know.
They know what they're doing.
Every emotional abuser knows.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the first time that he, hit you. What was the first time like? And did you say, after that first time, did you say, okay, you know what, I am going to leave. I'm not going to be here anymore? Because I'm sure it must have been foreign to you. You wouldn't have expected it, because this is somebody that used to go outside and fight, and you say, baby, stop, and then he would look at you and stop. So what was that experience like for you the first time?
Well, it was, excuse me, it was strange. So I was pregnant. I was about 6 months pregnant when the first slap came. And, excuse me,
Sorry.
and I took my morning tea. I love tea. Okay, so whether it's tea or coffee, I love to have something hot first thing. So I took my morning tea and I left the cup on the table. I'm pregnant, for God's sake. I was tired. So I left the cup on the table. And he came back, saw the cup, because I'd stood up from the table. I went to do some other things. And he came back and saw a dirty cup of tea on the table and came in and slapped me.
And you were pregnant?
And I was pregnant, 6 months pregnant. I literally saw stars. You know those stars you see in all those cartoons? Those different color stars. I saw them. I mean, it's real. I saw the stars. But luckily for me, I fell, because I was in the bedroom, I fell on top of the bed. So it cushioned my fall.
He slapped you to the point that you saw stars and you fell?
I fell, yes. This is someone that is a bodybuilder, or that was a bodybuilder. He's huge.
Okay.
So you can imagine this slap. So I fell. I actually fell. And I saw stars. And that was the first thing. Okay, so after that, he apologized. Okay? I can't even remember the excuse he gave or the reasons he gave, but he apologized. And I felt, okay, everything was fine. But 6 months again after my first child, that pregnancy, so that's like about a year or thereabout in between, he physically beat me and practically shifted my back, broke my back. You know, so, and it's okay. And that's when I told myself I was going to leave. But I couldn't, because he had taken my son to his mother's place. So, and I didn't want to live without my son. So by the time I, managed, people got up. I didn't even know at that time that my back had shifted, my bone had shifted. I just knew I was in pain. I took public transport. I went to his mother to pick my baby. And then they started begging me, traditional Yoruba family. Oh, he's not going to do that again. He's sorry.
Did they see your state?
Yes, they did. But, because they didn't even know the extent. They just knew that I had bruises on me. And Okwati, woman ja, that's husband and wife do fight. It's one of those things. He's sorry, blah, blah, blah. So instead of being able to pick my son and leaving, I ended up staying there for 3 days. The mother was, using hot water on me, massaging me, giving me paracetamol and all that and all that. And by the time I came back home, he actually prostrated, begging me. So I felt, okay, he's changed. He's never going to do that. And that's the first mistake most women make. If he beats you once, he's going to do it again.
I was going to ask that, actually. Sometimes they say it's just a slap, it's just this, it's just that. And there is this saying that if he beats you once, he's going to do it again. I was going to ask if it is true.
It is true. If he beats you once, he's going to beat you again. Except you are a fighter yourself and you can beat him back. Then he will know his place. But if he beats you once, he's going to do it again until you leave.
There was something you said in Yoruba, but I think I picked it. You said, okay, let me not say because I'll butcher it, but I think you said your ex-mother-in-law was saying that couples fight.
Yeah.
And it's normal. So while that is true, what is the difference between, a regular fight? Because, even you and your best friend will fight, you and your colleagues will fight. What's the difference between, a regular fight and a fight that is going to lead to beatings and maybe emotional abuse?
Okay, so there's a huge difference.
Oh, really? Okay.
Oh, yes, there's a huge difference. And I'm going to say this in Yoruba first. They say that tí ọmọ ìyá méjì bá wọlé tán jáde tán rẹ́rìn wọn bára wọn sòótọ́ ọ̀rọ̀. And I'm going to interpret it. Now, what it means is this. If two siblings go into a room, have an argument, and come out laughing, they didn't tell themselves the truth. So, couples will fight. But the thing there is, you should be able to tell each other the truth, not while being conscious of the fact that you don't want to hurt this other person. Yes, we're arguing because you are not saying my point and I'm not saying your point. But this is how or what I feel. This is how I see this thing. So you see, take for example, maybe the guy is 30 or 27 before he got married, and the lady is 23. You have lived these lives separately.
Yes.
So there is no way you get married first year, second year, even 10 years without having issues. But the difference is that those arguments are not out to hurt each other. It's a learning process. You're trying to tell the other person, this is who I am actually. This is who I am. So, and then you shift. You try to love each other from that person's point of view. But in the other situation, those arguments that often lead to fight are ways of inflicting pain. I'm fighting because I want to hurt you. Maybe because I'm hurt. Or maybe because I feel hurt. So I don't want to bear the hurt alone. I want to inflict it on you. That's a difference. You find that couples that do last, they'll tell you that they fight a lot. But they learn to resolve it without hatred, without hurting each other. And even when they hurt each other, they quickly find a way to reconcile. Because there are some times you will hurt each other unintentionally. You understand? So that's the difference.
Okay. So you're saying people that go hurt people because you hurt me, you must feel the burn, you must feel the pain.
That's it.
That is also a form of emotional abuse. Yes. Okay. Now talking about forms of emotional abuse, I don't know this word gaslighting. You are gaslighting me. A lot of people use it, but is it really emotional abuse?
Yes, it is, because like I said, emotional abuse is subtle. Okay, so when you find someone gaslighting you, it's someone trying to, make you feel like who you are not actually, but wrapping it in love. I claim to love you, but I'm hurting you. Okay, it's very close to love bombing. It's very close. You find out that some people, they know that I don't really, really love you, but I want you. I want to have you. I want to keep you maybe as a piece of furniture or something. I just want to conquer you. So they bombard you with a lot of, good things up front. And then once you are captured, in quote, or once you are now owned, that's the word they use, then they show their true colors. It's the same thing with gaslighting. It's the same thing. It's a form of emotional abuse.
And a lot of people don't even know this. I mean, maybe they do, and they don't know that it is what they're doing. But point is, it is bad.
It is bad. It is bad.
All right. How does emotional abuse now, in its own way, change the way a person sees themselves?
Oh, like I said, it's worse than physical abuse. Okay, because if someone beats you and you're hurting, you could go take medications and the place may or may not heal. But emotional abuse goes deeper than that. It doesn't just affect the body, it affects your mental health, your state of mind. If someone is like, this has been scientifically proven actually. You take a plant, you take 2 pots and plant the same thing. And then one, you're watering both, but you're speaking affirmative words to one. And you're cursing the other one. Definitely the one you're saying affirmative words to would grow better, healthier than the other one. That's exactly how emotional abuse affects you. Someone keeps telling you every day that you're not good enough. It will sink. That is the way the mind has been wired up. That's the way God has created us. If I see you now and I come in, oh, LOUIE, you're so lovely. You're looking so beautiful. And you go out there, somebody else tells you the same thing. And then you go out there, somebody else tells you the same thing. You will begin to feel beautiful. Even if you are the ugliest person on earth, you will feel beautiful. But if you are so pretty, and even though you know it and you're confident that you're pretty, but every day, every minute, everywhere you go, someone tells you that you're ugly. Why are you looking like this? Why are you looking so dirty? Why are you looking so unkept? Why are you looking so ugly? Every day, if you hear it every day for 6 months, no matter how confident you are,
it will mess with you.
It will mess with you. And that's what emotional abuse does. It reduces your self-esteem. It makes you begin to second guess yourself. And once you start doing that, you're not going to be successful with anything.
All right, let's talk about staying now. Why did you stay? What made you stay?
Okay, so in my own situation, I stayed because, one, when I wanted to get married to him, my siblings told me not to. Okay, I'm number 8 out of a family of 9. So I'm second to the last. So you can imagine having big sisters, big brothers, some as old as 20 years older than me. Our firstborn is actually 21 years older than I am. Our secondborn is 19 years older than I am.
So they've seen life.
And they know the kind of person I think they guessed. And then they were also averse to the fact that he was so much older than I was. He was about 12 years.
Older than you.
Older than me. So everybody said, don't marry him. So when this thing started, I couldn't go back home to tell anybody.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was ashamed.
Okay, so I'm sorry to cut you
Okay.
short. There is shame and there is judgment.
Yes.
Was it both or it was just shame?
It was both of them.
We told you.
The judgment was going to be worse. We told you. That is the statement. So I felt the need to make it work by force. In fact, my family didn't know he was beating me until about 4 years after. His family knew, but my family didn't know anything. My immediate senior brother came one day to our house because of, you married his younger sister, so they became friends, kind of. And so he just came over and said, I want to come and see your husband. So I said, let me stop in the house first, see you before I go to his office. And he met me on the floor. He had just finished beating me. So my brother saw me and was like, what happened to you? At that point in time, I couldn't lie any longer. I had to tell, and my brother and I were very close. Very, very close, my immediate senior brother and I. So I told him, and he was livid. He now went back home and told my mom, come and carry your daughter. Oh. They are going to kill her. Oh. Or carry your daughter. Because he actually wanted to go and fight my husband. I said, no, go. He will beat you. He will beat you. And I don't want to say about you will get injured because of me.
Because of me.
So he went back home, told my parents. My mom came and, God bless her soul. Then she felt, okay, my daughter should stay in a marriage. I don't want her, a divorcee. She's young and all that. She said, he's wrong, but, just stay. Just, try and manage better, blah, 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 all the things mothers of those days will say. And I stayed. So that was the first thing. It was the shame, the judgment, especially for my own siblings. I didn't really care much about what people would say. But because my sisters, my brothers told me, don't do it. In fact, I was quite rude to my elder brother. We have 2 boys.
Oh, wow.
I told him, I said, look, why are you telling me not to marry? He said, because it's about my age mate. He's even older than me. I said, you two, you will marry my age mate. That's what I told him. So everybody left me. So that was the first reason why I stayed. Then by that time, I already had 2 children. Okay? So people started saying, just manage. Have all your children in one place. You don't want to keep going around. If you marry somebody else now, you have to give birth. And the way I'm saying it in English now is not sweet. If they say it in Yoruba. Oh, goodness me. You feel that they'll tell you, you have to stay. That's the logical thing to do. So, by by that time, I had already known that I was going to leave, but I also wanted to listen to what people were saying. So I started telling myself, because at that time I had 2 boys. So I started praying. I started telling God, when I found out I was pregnant again, I said, God, this baby must be a girl. Because one of the things people were telling me was that you have only boys. You want to have a girl, so you want to remarry. So I started telling God, I said, God, this particular one must be a girl. In fact, when I remember vividly when I had my second child, at the hospital, when they brought the baby out and said, congratulations, even in the pain, I said, is he a boy or a girl? They said, a boy. I said, I will have to stay in this marriage. That was the subconscious,
mentality.
Yes, what I had in my subconsciousness. So when I got pregnant the third time, I started telling myself, this child must be a girl. So when people ask me, is your baby kicking? I'll say, no, she's not kicking. She's at the salon. She's sweeping. She's doing makeup. It was my way of confessing that this child must be a girl. So when I gave birth and it turned out to be a girl, oh God, I was so happy. And that was when I started putting plans in place to leave. So those 2 things held me back. My children and the fact that I didn't want judgment for my family.
So the day you finally left, did he know? Did he try to hold you back? Or was it like a whole escape plan for you?
Well, it was supposed to be an escape plan, but it went bad. It went wrong.
Oh my God. What happened?
I packed my bags, my boxes and everything, because he doesn't really stay at home. He drinks a lot. So he could go out and come back at 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. Sometimes he could go and not come back for 3-4 days at a stretch. So he had gone out as usual and I'd planned my escape, boxed up my clothes and everything. Unfortunately for me, he came home and saw that I'd packed. Oh, you're trying to run away. You're trying to leave. No problem. You will go. He beat me, first of all, that day.
Wow.
It took the intervention of his grandmom, who was living with me as at that time, to stop him from actually stabbing me that day.
Stabbing?
Oh, yes. He actually wanted to stab me that day. So the grandmother had to use her body to block me. She held me behind her and said, if you want to kill this child today, you have to go through me. You kill me first. So he now said, okay, no problem. You want to leave? Oh, yeah, open your boxes. I opened my boxes, started looking through and said, all these clothes, I bought them for you.
Really?
Oh, yeah. So at that time, my mom was already late. My mom had died. So, we girls had shared some of our clothing and all that. So, said, this one, I don't think I'm the one that bought it. You can wear this one. When you wear this one, you go and bring the marriage certificate so that I will be the one to divorce you, not you leaving me.
So his ego too was...
Oh, of course, his ego was enormous. So I left the house that day with my mom's Iro and Buba, a pair of Dunlop slippers, and 200 naira transportation money. Because before that time, by the time I started, planning, I'd taken my marriage certificate, all my documents out of the house because he had tried to burn my documents once.
Wow.
My certificate, university certificate, everything. So I'd moved them from the house. So he told me, go bring the marriage certificate. So I will be the one to divorce you. So I left for the house, for my mom's house, my late mom's house. And that was how I left, with nothing. So when I got home, by that time there was GSM. So I called my father and said, Dad, this and this and this and this is what's happening. So my father said, okay, you know what? I'm going to call him and his parents for a meeting. So my dad told me not to go back home. I stayed. And they came for the meeting 3 days after. He came with the children, with my 3 children. And at the meeting, he insulted my father, insulted me, insulted everybody there, dumped the 3 children with me, and left with his mother and grandmother.
So he wasn't even apologetic or remorseful or nothing?
And so that was how I left the home, with nothing.
So, nothing. He didn't even bring your even the one for your mom, nothing at all.
He didn't even bring clothes for the children. He just dumped the children on me with just what they were wearing.
Did he even at least try to support the kids?
No.
So he intentionally wanted to punish you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right. I like that you said, you called your parents, your dad much later, your brother found out. And leads me to my next question, and that's support from family. Because some people might be listening now, and maybe their sister, their brother, somebody they know is currently going through this. And like you said, you mentioned you had already insulted your senior brother. So maybe at the time, ego might have been at play. Okay, I will see how this thing turns out. Maybe, maybe not. Some people are holding a grudge. They know that their sibling is going through this, but because love has blinded them and they had disrespected them at some point, they're like, here, you see that hellfire that you put yourself in? You will go through it. You will die there. You will die there. So how can people maybe forgive and be more supportive of people, especially family members first? Let's even leave society. Family members first. How can they be more supportive of their own when it comes to, DV, domestic violence and emotional abuse?
Well, I cannot say specifically how they can be more helpful. But what I want to put out there is they have to. They have to. Except you don't love yourself as siblings in the first place. Because blood, they say, ought to be thicker than water. So, at that point, you said nobody has monopoly of knowledge. So, when such things happen, what you need to tell yourself as a sibling is that, look, okay, Shebi love as the blood that blinded you has now left. You can now see. You should be able to open up your arms and welcome back that person. You don't have to put money down. In every case of domestic violence, what the victim needs, it's more of emotional support. Or we're here for you. Because I can tell you this. When I left and went back to my mom's house, there were episodes where I didn't know where I was. I would just be blank. My mind, my ears were ringing, and my children were there crying. No food to eat, no clothes to wear, but I was lost in my own world. I was almost going crazy. So there are times, what every victim needs is the support. You have to learn to forgive. Because, for God's sake, maybe the person insulted you, yes, but it's not as deep. It's not that deep. Do you understand? It is because at that point in time, the person didn't know any better. So you as the older one or as a younger one just needs to show, okay, so now you learn. You've learned, right? Okay, now I want to tell you this. Now I want you to do this. Family have to be more supportive. They have to. It's one of the major things we tell people now, through our NGO. You have to help these people. You have to come around them. They need your support more than they need your money. When we have any case of domestic violence right now, we like one or two of the relatives to be around. We can't do things in isolation. Yes, most times we end up spending our own money, but once you are there and this victim sees, okay, my sister is here or my brother is here, they're a bit calm. Depression does not set in quickly because that's another thing that kills a lot of abuse survivors. The depression, when they're alone, it's horrible. So I'm putting out there that families need to please be more supportive.
All right. You mentioned your initiative. Let's talk about that. You now mentor a lot of young women. So what is that like? Of course, your experience, made you go into this now, your NGO. So let's talk about it. The name, when you started, where they can find you and what you're about.
Okay, so the NGO is actually run more by my husband. I just do the bit of counseling type. What the NGO actually is about is getting people out of domestic abuse. My husband is a lawyer. So
you remarried, of course.
Oh yes, I remarried to a wonderful man, Olumide Kayode. He's a radio host as well. Okay. So he puts that out every week. So what we do is go in there into abusive homes and get these women out. Okay, and if the situation is that of a man, we'll also help him.
Men to go through this?
Oh, God, they do. But ego will not allow them to talk. Many men don't talk. They suffer in silence.
Emotional of domestic violence?
Both. Psychological too. There are some women that are frightening to their husbands, such that the men don't want to go home. Oh,
Serious?
yes. Oh, yes. I know women that beat up men. A lot. I know women that have tried to stab their husbands. So it's both parties, but it's just that it's more rampant for women. So what the NGO does is, once we hear of a situation, a case like that, and we ask you a series of questions, are you ready to leave? If your answer is yes, we help you leave, relocate, and if possible, persecute the abuser. That's, in fact, my husband hates it. Once he hears that a man is beating a woman, he goes, mad, kind of. So, but what I do on my own part is help women, counsel them. I'm more of how do you survive the journey after. That's what I like to do more. Help these people rebuild their confidence, help them, kind of live close to a normal life. Because the truth of the matter is that if you go through emotional abuse, before you can get back to 100%, it's going to take years, even with all the emotional support you get. That it's a wound. It's like there is an open wound, and it just heals gradually. So that's what the NGO does. We mostly persecute abusers, resettle the victims, fight gender, all this gender-based violence. That's what we do.
Where can they find you?
Okay, so it's online. We're online. The Gnosis Help Initiative. The Gnosis is GNOSIS. The G is silent. GNOSIS. Gnosis Initiative. Gnosis Help Initiative. We're online on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. And you can also search for Barrister Olumide Omoshebi on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So then we have the physical office at 229 Habab Macaulay, Yaba. So you can always call. And then, once you call and we know, you tell us you're ready, because the objective is to get you out. A lot of women die from abuse. And to be honest, we're tired of burying women. In fact, I think in the past couple of years, I had to tell my husband that, look, when you're going to these places where there is blood, I don't want to follow you. I don't want to go with you. Why? Because I realize that two of us cannot be mad together in the house. We're both saying the same thing. Yes, so much violence, so much abuse. And I'm trying to protect my mind, because I've been a victim. I'm a survivor now. I do not need to be so much to open up my wound that has healed. Okay? So what I focus more on the NGO is helping people move on, the women especially. Because the truth of the matter is that one of the other reasons why people don't leave, especially women, they think of, where do I go to? How do I survive with these children? What would they eat? So many of them stay back because of that. So what I do is, I try to give them confidence, the emotional support you're talking about with siblings. Yeah, I might not be your sibling, but I try to do that. Tell you, look, using my own story and tell you it's going to be okay. It's definitely going to be okay. And I'm happy to say that some women have been able to, come out of it and rebuild their lives. Many are not yet willing to share their stories, but many are moving on with life.
I love that. Just like the way you moved on.
Oh, yes.
And I suppose you've healed completely.
Yes. Oh, yes.
What did that look like for you, though? Very quickly, because we're out of time.
Being able to talk about it without crying.
Okay. I like that.
Because the first time I spoke about it, oh my goodness, I cried. Buckets. There are times I'm still a bit emotional, not because I'm hurting any longer, but quickly, someone told me when he died, because my ex is late now.
Yeah, late.
I'd left him 8 years after he died. And when I cried the day I heard he died, someone asked me, I said, why are you crying? This is someone that showed you shege. Why? I said, look, I loved him at one point. And no matter how bad, he is the father of my children. So I had to cry. So there are times you just cry because of what could have been.
Yes.
So, but once you heal, it's about knowing that not crying excessively when you talk about it.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing, your story, and of course encouraging women to leave if they have to, if they're in this situation.
Yes.
I'd love to have you again here. I had so many questions to ask you, but we're out of time. Now, to anyone listening this evening who may have heard pieces of their own story in this conversation, know this: your feelings are valid, your safety matters, and your life has value. Reaching out for support is not weakness. Leaving is not weakness. It is courage. This has been Dear Louie, and we go again tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye for now.
Wake at night to that first job interview that changed everything. From traffic on 3rd Mainland Bridge to quiet midnight thoughts under an open sky. There has always been one frequency riding with you. Rhythm 93.7 FM didn't just play music. We scored your moments. When you celebrated, we turned it up. When you stumbled, we lifted your spirit. When the nation held its breath, we stayed present, informing, connecting, caring. Across Lagos, Port Harcourt, Benin, Abuja, and every heartbeat in between. One rhythm, one sound, one family. And now, beyond borders, streaming across continents, connecting Nigerians in the diaspora and global listeners searching for the sound of home. We didn't just grow, we grew with you. Through weddings and wins, through heartbreaks and hustle, through late nights, early mornings, and everything in between. Because it was never just radio. It's lifestyle, it's culture, it's connection. More music, less noise, more feeling, more life. This isn't just a station. This is your rhythm. Rhythm FM, growing with you.